Why is your couch here?
All right. Good morning, church. Okay, I got to make sure y'all are awake and out there. Good morning, church. All right, so good to see you this morning. Welcome to Peachtree. If you're new here, we do have a gift for you. It's our famous Church Can Happen Anywhere green T-shirts. They're out there in the lobby. If you pick one up, you can wear it proudly, knowing that we've partnered with Give Threads in order to provide school uniforms to children living in Memphis. So stop by that T-shirt table in the north lobby after worship concludes and pick one up for yourself today. We'd like to offer a quick hello to all those who are watching online. We'll give you a shout out here in a little bit, but please be sure to say hello to each other in the chat and let us know where you are worshiping from today. It is so good to be with you this day. Today is our Laity Sunday, and we're going to have a chance to hear from several lay leaders in our church, from our youth, young adults, and those that have recently come back from the Rio Bravo mission trip. If you see folks wearing this shirt, and y'all wave your hands, these are some of the members of the mission trip that just came back from Reynosa a couple weeks ago. So we'll be hearing from some of them in a little bit. first, we're going to invite you to stand as we sing our opening song, Build Your Kingdom Here.
While I
make sure this microphone works and sticks to my ear here. I just want to take one personal moment before I continue to say hello to folks that are watching online. And I play the cajon. We had some singing. He's got the guitar. I can't get the starting note, but I'm hoping y'all might help me wish Tim a happy birthday today because it's his birthday. So here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tim. Happy birthday to you. All right. Happy birthday, Tim. Yes, your lovely wife made sure that I remembered, and when I got on Facebook, sure enough, there it was. So, yes, it was very nice of her. So happy birthday to you, Tim. Thank you for leading us on the guitar this morning, and a good morning to everybody. Once again, we're so glad that you're with us in person and also watching online today. If you are worshiping on Facebook Live, again, be sure to like this video and also to say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're joining us from today. We'll give you a shout out here in a little bit. Speaking of Facebook, we'd love for everybody to take out your phones and check in on Facebook. Thanks to our partnership with a different charity, each quarter we're able to make a donation for each Facebook check-in at Peachtree. If you've been with us the last couple of weeks, you've heard that our focus from last quarter was with WOTC, and because of all of the churches nationwide that check in through Causely, over 51,000 times, in fact, we were able to fund 27 life-changing surgeries because of your check-ins and what we give to WOTC. So thank you for checking in. It is already a new quarter, and we have a new charity we'll tell you about in just a moment. But if you like to check in, you don't know how to do it from Facebook, all you have to do is open up the Facebook app on your phone, click on the phrase at the top of the screen that says, "What's on your mind?" and then choose check-in. You can type Peachtree UMC in the search bar and then update your status, maybe with a picture of some friends that you're sitting with or by tagging the friends that are on your row or in your section before you post. In this quarter, we have been partnering with Books for Africa. We've partnered with them in the past. We're partnering with them once again. Books for Africa is the largest shipper of donated textbooks and library books to the African continent. They have delivered in the past to every country that is on the continent, but this year alone, they've shipped approximately 4,029,000 books, which is valued at over $32.6 million to 32 countries. And that's the most books in a single year that they've ever shipped. So from October through the end of the year, every 5 Facebook check-ins or reviews of Peachtree are going to provide the gift of a book to a child in need. So use the hashtag Books for Africa so that others can learn more about this month's cause. Students from Peachtree and Carville United Methodist Church and their friends are going to be meeting right here in the sanctuary tonight at 6:30 p.m. for our youth movie night featuring Disney's Haunted Mansion. And yes, it's the new Haunted Mansion that just came out on Disney Plus a couple weeks ago. This school year, if you don't know, we've been partnering with Carville United Methodist Church to host a co-op youth group. So tweens and teens from both groups have been attending Wednesday night Bible studies each week. They've enjoyed monthly hangouts together. And if you have a middle school student or high school student looking for a fun community this school year, then email office@peachtree.church or contact the church office by phone later this week. And parents, you can still RSVP on behalf of your child for tonight's movie night, and you can check out that online event from our Facebook page. So I hope to see you here. It's going to be a fun time. We'll have some snacks and drinks. And again, we're going to meet here and watch the movie on the big screen tonight. So lastly, if you have a youth who's coming tonight for the movie and you want to come a little early, or you love mission opportunities that take place in Tennessee, we hope that you're going to come back to the church building tonight for an interest meeting about Mountain T.O.P. and that's going to be held in room 1. Some of you know it as the pool table room that's right around the corner from the lobby. And instead of having me stand up here and tell you what Mountain Top is, we are lucky to have friends from Mountain Top with us today. One you definitely know, Kayla Cave, who's a member of our church, whom we've partnered with for the past couple of years, and she most recently served as a camp director. The other friend is Analiese Evans, who I've known for several years when I was on staff at Carnival United Methodist Church, and Analiese is currently working at Mountain Top through AmeriCorps. And so I'm going to invite those two to come up here. We're doing things different for Laity Sunday. We're going to have some fun with our Rio Bravo team in a little bit too. But instead of a sermon today, we're going to have a couple of interview segments, right? So will you help me welcome these two ladies to the stage this morning? All right, so first, thank you all so much for being with us. I got a couple questions I just want to ask you as you talk to us about this awesome ministry. The first is, could you just describe Mountain Top for somebody who doesn't know what it is? We got a lot of folks that maybe know that Kayla's gone in the past, but how would you describe Mountain Top to somebody who's learning about it for the first time today?
So Mountain Top is a service ministry on the Cumberland Plateau in Grundy County. Is our main camp that we are open in Spencer, Tennessee in the summer as well. We do major and minor home repair, as well as in the summer we have a day camp program where our volunteers that come for our youth summer ministry will go to families' homes, pick up the kids, and then take them on field trips and do Bible lessons and different kind of curriculum things. And I've talked a lot about the service project stuff to you guys. That is our major and minor home repair. We work with families all in the service area on minor home repair during the summer with our youth. And then in the spring, a little bit in the summer, and in the fall, we generally work with major home repair with adults. This is USDA-funded projects, and we do anything from roofing to flooring to window installation, kind of anything like that.
Yes, awesome. So a lot of home repair projects, but then also the day camp is something that I feel like wasn't an option maybe 14 years ago when I first went to Mountain Top as an adult chaperone. Also the fact that I was I was considered an adult 14 years ago for a Mountain Top trip. Unbelievable. But Analiese, you're on staff this year, but it's through AmeriCorps. So can you tell us just a little bit about AmeriCorps and then the partnership and like how that came to be with Mountain Top and exactly what that role looks like for you this year?
Yeah, of course. So hi, my name is Analiese. If we haven't met before, it's wonderful to see you. I graduated from the University of Tennessee at Knoxville with a degree in audiology and speech pathology in May. So nothing to do with what Mountain Top does, like at all. But I went as a camper. I was on summer staff with Kayla for a couple years. And I knew that I wanted to devote more time to a place that meant so much to me. It changed my life in so many ways. And so I kind of went to Mountain Top and was like, hey, am I?
No, you're good.
Okay. I was like, hey, I want to take a year off in between undergraduate school and graduate school. I still love speech pathology. It's still what I want to do. But I went to them and I was like,
we're figuring it out, right,
okay.
Bob?
I just want to make sure it's not me. Yeah. Okay. And Mountain Top has been around for almost 50 years, so they have a lot of connections on the Cumberland Plateau, one of those being the AmeriCorps program at University of the South, Sewanee, if you guys have ever heard of it. And so I kind of went at it through like a backdoor way. I kind of went to Mountain Top first and was like, I want to work there. And they went to AmeriCorps and were like, we want to hire her. Can you guys hire her for us? If you're not familiar with AmeriCorps, it's like Peace Corps, but just in the States. So it's a government-funded paid volunteer service, and they place them in communities in need with specific projects and specific goals. So my official title is recruiter and resource educator. So I spend a lot of time travel recruiting. Like this week, I'm here in Memphis, and then I do a lot of the social media marketing, and then I also work with our volunteer education. That's where the second part comes in. So working on bolstering our opportunities for volunteers to engage with the history of Appalachia, which is really important to Mountain Top. It's a really unique opportunity. I really do enjoy AmeriCorps. It is providing me an avenue to work at Mountain Top, which is something that I love so much, in a much more fruitful way. Mountain Top is a nonprofit. They weren't going to pay me very much, but AmeriCorps is able to give me a living stipend, which is great. And they also provide an educational award at the end of your service. So I started in May, and I'll end next May. And by the time I'm done, I'll have about $12,000 to put towards my graduate school education, which is wonderful. So that's kind of how it kind of was like a backdoor. I went to Mountain Top first because obviously I worked there and knew about it, and they kind of used AmeriCorps to hire me. So a little bit of a backdoor way, but it's been super rewarding.
Awesome. Well, what are some ways that folks can get involved before next summer? And then what would you say to somebody who's sitting out there or watching online who's thinking about getting involved, maybe going on a summer mission trip, maybe going at another time of the year when some of those more heavy-duty home projects are taking place? What would you want to share with folks? And again, we're having an interest meeting. We'll be able to talk further about ways that our church can get involved, and that's tonight at 6 o'clock. But what are just some final things you'd want to share with folks this morning?
Yeah, so we have our YSM program, which is our youth summer program, which is kind of the meat and potatoes of it all. That is our biggest program that happens during the year. And then we have a couple of opportunities outside of that to serve up at camp. The most popular is Fall AIM. That's Adults in Ministry. That's where our major home repair happens, as well as a couple of events other than that. We are actually having our last weekend this coming weekend, where there is major home repair happening, as well as Fall Festival, which includes being able to give out coats and shoes to people in the community, books, things like that, as well as inviting community partners in to give resources to the people in the area. So that happens in the fall. And then in the spring, there is Spring Breakout, which is an opportunity for college students to spend their spring break up at camp doing major home repair as well. And we also have Friends Weekend. That's going to be last weekend of February this year, and that is an opportunity to either do a project as a group outside of camp or work on things in camp to get it ready for this summer. And then we have a brick and mortar dinner, which is a really big fundraising opportunity, and it's a lot of fun. We have a silent auction and music and stuff like that. So that's a lot of fun. Those are your opportunities before the summer in 2024. And if you want to get involved with any of that stuff, talk to me at any point. And then we have the interest meeting tonight at 6 that is more specifically to talk about the summer opportunity, but we definitely will talk to you about the other opportunities if that's something that interests you.
Well, thank y'all so much. And yes, I hope many of you will come tonight at 6 o'clock. We'll be in room 1 right around the corner from the north lobby. And lots of ways to get plugged in and involved, and to hopefully send a team from Collierville, perhaps with a continued co-op with Collierville United Methodist Church, which we all have a connection to Collierville United Methodist as well. And so I'm excited for the future for our congregation and for you this year with AmeriCorps, and for ways for us to continue to support Mountain Top moving forward. So can we offer a thanks to these ladies this morning for joining us? And while they head back to their seats, if you will stand as we sing our next song, Pass It On.
spark to get a fire going, and soon all those around can warm up in its glowing. That's how it is with God's love. Once you've experienced it, you spread His love to everyone. You want to pass it on. What a wondrous time is spring, when all the trees are budding. Birds begin to sing, the flowers start their blooming. That's how it is with God's love. Once you've experienced it, you want to sing. It's fresh like spring. You want to pass it on. I wish for you, my friend, this happiness that I found. You can depend on God. It matters not where you're bound. I'll shout it from the mountain top. I want the world to know the Lord of love has come to me. I want to pass it on. I'll shout it from the mountain top. I want the world to know the Lord of love has come to me. I want to pass it on.
You may be seated. At this time, children in kindergarten through 5th grade are invited to follow Miss Karen and Miss Sherry to Peachtree Kids. Parents, if you did not get a chance to sign in your children before worship this morning, we ask that you walk with them to room 7. You'll be able to pick up your kids from room 7 after worship concludes. Also, at this time, we're going to take a moment to offer our gifts back to God. Our ushers are walking around with the offering plates, but if you'd like to make a gift using your cell phone, then please visit peachtree.church/give. You can click on the button that takes you to our giving page. You can also now donate using PayPal or Venmo by searching for Peachtree UMC. If you're writing a check, please make it out to Peachtree. And if you're watching from home this morning, you'd like to mail in your tithes and offerings, then please send your gifts to 9315 East Shelby Drive in Collierville, Tennessee, 38017. We thank you for your generosity. I mentioned folks that are watching online this morning, and I'm hoping I can get over to the live stream to be able to see who we've got with us. I see Janet Autry, the Fernwaltz. Alex, we're continuing to pray for you and hope that things are on the up and up for you. Joe Travis, Jennifer Casey, Eileen Wiley, the Foy family, Cindy Ladd, Bonnie Gay, Patty Hopper, Joe Ann and Pat Williams. We're so glad to see all of you in the live stream this morning, and thank you for saying hello in the chat. If I didn't say your name, for whatever reason, I can't see you at the moment, but we know that you're there. I know that Judy watches every week, right? And Gladys Adams as well. So thank you all so much for tuning in and worshiping with us today. One of our newest and most successful events for 2023 was Day Shore, a week-long day camp partnership with Lakeshore Camp and Retreat Center that provides children and tweens with a fun week filled with arts and crafts, music, games, and lessons about life, love, and the God of grace. We already have dates for next year's Day Shore Camp, so mark your calendars now for June 10th through the 14th. 2024. If you'd like to be the first to know when registration is opened up, then be sure to email our children's minister, Karen@peacetree.church. Or if you find her in the hallways after worship, then go ahead and mention Dayshore to her. You can include Dayshore in the subject line of your message if you're going to email her. We are so proud that we get to use the gift of this building and our playground and our athletic fields as an outreach to families in our community as we fulfill our mission to love God by loving others. So that's in June. But if you were here yesterday, then you saw over 300 of our neighbors come for the trunk or treat, our third annual trunk or treat. It's just gotten bigger and bigger each year. Thanks to everybody that decorated a car and got dressed in your costumes or helped out with arts and crafts or with the kids making s'mores. It was a really fun time yesterday. So thank you so much for being a part of that, and hope that you'll continue to volunteer for things like trunk or treat and Dayshore and Mountain Top and Rio Bravo and all of these worthy causes in the future. I'll invite you now, if you will, to bow your heads for a word of prayer. Dear God, we thank you so much for this day. We thank you for the work of your people, for the ways that they are your hands and your feet, the ways in which they extend your love to their neighbors, to complete strangers, to friends that they've had for ages, and Lord, most importantly, for the love that we feel inside our hearts that we feel the need to share with others. We ask that you would continue to work within the people of Peachtree and the churches of this community, and that you would bless the gifts that we return to you through the offering plate today or through our online giving, that you would use it to bless others who want to feel your love and need to feel your love, Lord. Continue to be with us and speak to us and call us into the mission field this week. We ask it all in your Son's name. Amen. So before I'm joined on the stage by some of the youth members of our Rio Bravo team, I want to remind you that next Sunday is a communion Sunday, and it's also going to be the Sunday that we observe All Saints' Day this year. We'll have an opportunity next week to remember those from our congregation who have passed on to the kingdom eternal. From our most recent look at the membership roll and all the news that we received this year, we know of 4 church members that have passed away since last All Saints Day. So we are going to remember them, and we'll have an opportunity for everyone to light a candle in memory and in honor of other saints in our lives who are now at rest with God. So please join us next Sunday, October 29th, for our All Saints Sunday. That's also going to include Holy Communion. So at this time, I'd like to invite up some of the youth members of this year's team. Will you help give them a hand and welcome them to the stage this morning? There was a question of whether all 4 of them would be able to fit on this couch. See, now the real question is who's going to be stuck sitting closest to me? Oh, Claire. That seems appropriate. I'm going to hand you the mic, Claire. Claire is the biggest advocate in this congregation of me cutting my hair. But you know what, Claire? It's here for a while. It's going to be here, right? Okay, well, youths, it's so good to see you this morning. We're all wearing the same shirt. Yes, good times. We'll start off with maybe some of the harder aspects of the trip this year. What would you say was the biggest challenge that you faced on the mission trip this year? And for some of you, this was your first year going to Rio Bravo. I think, Lena, you're our returning team member from last year. But what for any of you, or for all of you, what was the biggest challenge that you faced this year?
I can say my biggest challenge was leaving, because I did not want to leave, and it was very sad having to leave the kids. Do I have a challenge? Oh, Harper agrees. Yeah. Lena agrees, and Harrison agrees.
Very good. I'm glad you are truly going to be the mouthpiece for all of the youth. You can at the very least hand it to your brother. Can take one, right? Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. I know you're looking ahead. You're looking ahead at other questions. Oh, Harrison. So this is a question we asked like almost every day. Where did you see God on the mission trip at Rio Bravo?
Well, I saw God basically everywhere in the whole like campus. From entering, it was like a warm hug because everything around it just seemed so like hectic and crazy, but then it was almost like an oasis inside of like, it was the eye of the storm.
Yeah, there. Yeah, when you, and we're gonna have a video we're gonna watch in a little bit, so that everybody has kind of a chance to see what they saw. But yeah, driving across the border and then on the highway and then down the street, it is kind of crazy how peaceful things can be once you get behind the walls of Rio Bravo. Anybody else? A place where you saw God at work while we were down there for the week?
And the children, they're so happy, and like when we'd come home, or not we'd come home, they'd come home after we were painting their house, and they'd be so happy to see us, and they'd be happy and grateful for like the work we were doing. And yeah, so I saw God in their little eyes.
Yes. Yeah, there are a lot of sweet kids, some that have grown most of their life there, and others that are relatively new to Rio Bravo that we got to meet. You know, we're going next year, and Catherine gave me the dates this morning. So I gave you Dayshore dates, and if you thought June 10th through the 14th was an early date to have on your calendar, October 7th through October 5th through the 11th. October 5th through the 11th are the dates for next year's trip to Reynosa, Mexico. October 5th through the 11th. So, you know, some of y'all I know are going to share. What's something that you would say to someone who's considering going next year? Maybe somebody who's watching online right now, or somebody who's sitting out here, or going to watch this video later. What's something that you would say to somebody who's thinking about going on next year's trip?
So if you're ever considering it, just take that leap and go. It's truly like a life-changing experience, and it's worth like going, because I don't even know how to explain it. You just have to come to see how good it is.
Just take the leap and go. Take the leap of faith and go. And it is hard to describe sometimes with words. We've got some other first-time attendees that are sitting out in the congregation with Holly and Robin and Gina, and Sherry's back with Peachtree Kids, and for all of them it was their first time, and I hope that you'll take advantage of chatting with some of these folks after worship concludes today to kind of pick their brain and bend their ear and chat with them about the experience and what it was like. We're lucky to get to hear from our youths this morning, but yes, talk with some of the adults as well. And this is, Lena, you've got the microphone now, but if anybody else wants to answer after you, what's a memory that you're going to cherish from the 2023 trip down to Rio Bravo?
The kids, because whenever they would get home from school or you would go to the playground to play with them, they always have these happy faces, and just knowing that they love you is a cherishing moment.
All right, Lena, you're going to make everybody start crying on this couch if you don't watch out. It's going to be like the last night all over again when we had to say goodbye. Okay, yeah. Well, we might see some video here in a second. Any other memories that you're going to carry with you from this, especially for y'all? This was your first year going. Anything else that you're always going to remember from this trip to Rio Bravo?
Maybe like Peter Piper pizza, because whenever the kids like play games and get a bunch of tickets, their faces would just like light up with joy.
I loved meeting Miss Rachel there. She's an English teacher from Oklahoma, I'm pretty sure. And just being able to talk with her about like her story, and then I was able to talk with the kids because of her, because she can translate. So that was cool.
Also, an opportunity that we had was to go talk to Miss Rachel's students in English, her English students, and that was really fun. They were really patient with us, and they tried really hard, and yeah.
Awesome. Thank y'all so much. Here, I'll let y'all stay here for 1 second. So just some of the things, we're going to see it in the video in just a moment. Peter Piper Pizza is sort of like a incredible pizza company, Chuck E. Cheese type of place. I've heard that sometimes the kids, if they do well in school, they might get to go with a house parent, but it's never as a whole children's home. All 72 kids plus kids that grew up there and now have their own families, and they come back to visit with us and see friends that they've known for 20 plus years. But there's also just a fun opportunity in that, because it's like Christmas for them, getting to see. So you'll see some scenes from that. You'll see Miss Rachel, who, as Claire shared, was an English teacher from Oklahoma, and then some of the English classes that we got to sit in, both outdoors and in her classroom. So Bob, we're going to turn the wireless on. If y'all want to watch it from a more comfortable vantage point, let's hear it for our youth friends. And I know, let's see, Cleve might be he's in the AV closet running things today. So I'll ask if Cleve, if he can hear me, to go ahead and cut the stage lights so that we can enjoy the world premiere of the 2023 Rio Bravo video recap. So let's hit it, Trey. the night they jumped into a cold pool and did not expect that. Well, one unique opportunity that we had was seeing 3 generations of one family attend Rio Bravo this year. So for sure, I want Harry and Shannon to come on up, and I don't know if Claire and Harrison want to come back. They can. And Dr. Durbin, if you'd like to come and join us as well, but maybe he wants. Yeah, there he is. He's coming. Here he comes. All right, I'm gonna hand this to you, Harry. Oh, actually, I'm gonna make sure it's unmuted. And Dr. here, if you want to come up here next to me. Oh, are we gonna squish? Yes. We're squishing. That's right. One big happy family. So, Durbins. And this is maybe for you, Dr. Durbin, and you, Harry and Shannon. How much has changed in 20 years? Because it's been more than 20 years since the last time y'all attended on a mission trip when you were teenagers.
Yeah. So Harry and I went when we were close to Claire's age. So, and at that point we were friends. And so it was very special going back. It's changed a lot. I mean, you heard the youth talk about the joy in the kids' eyes and the happiness there. That is still exactly what it was when we were there 20 years ago. But there's just so much more. So they have a new kids' home. They have grown the school tremendously. They have the swimming pool that the kids jumped in. They have, the AstroTurf soccer field. So the actual campus has grown, but just like the love and the joy there, it's the same as I remembered going as a kid.
Yeah, and the school, there's over 500 children that attend that Christian school. And it's kind of really like the backbone to a lot of the ministry that takes place there. But then there's the 72 children that are part of the children's home. And yes, all of those things, there are folks that have donated time, money, energy to construct the homes and the nice, playgrounds and the fields and the schools. And something that Ray shares with us every year we go is he's never taken a loan out. He's never taken a note, a mortgage, or anything to pay for the buildings or the operations. That it's all through the generosity of individuals and the teams that come and they do the work. So what you saw, it's been decades in the making, and it used to literally be a garbage dump. That land that was given to him by the city of Reynosa. So I'm interested to hear, what was it like to go? You've been as a teenager. What was it like to go as a parent, and for you, Harry, to go with your father and to have 3 generations of the Durbin family present at Rio Bravo this year?
Yeah, I think certainly there's a difference when you go when you're 14 or 15. You haven't experienced a lot of life as far as having children, having a family, knowing probably what it's like, and going now and seeing that these children haven't had parents in their lives, and I think that makes it different. And I know it did for me. Kind of the perspective I had, and also now being very close to 40. Kids weren't as interested in playing with me as when I was young, and I think it's like the generational question. I think people of all ages can go, and there's a contribution or a benefit that people of all walks of life and all ages can make there. I think we were all doing different things and getting different things out of it, or getting similar things out of it, but doing different things. From leadership to labor to being able to swing on the swing with the kids and really communicate with them. So.
Yeah, and Dr. Durbin, how about for you on the other side of it, as not only a parent but a grandparent, and getting to go with your family?
Well, 2 or 3 things. One, amazing progress at Rio Bravo. It had grown, of course, by leaps and bounds, but to acknowledge that they have influenced the lives of thousands of children and young people. Not only cared for them, blessed them, raised them to be good citizens, to make a contribution to their own communities, to give back, to raise them in the faith. It's amazing what they've accomplished with the resources that they were given, and multiplied those resources over and over again to impact lives for good. For me personally, it was a sentimental journey to be with my grandchildren, son and daughter-in-law. It's really hard to describe that because it had been a long time since I'd been. I think 17 or 18 years. I was with the first team that went from Collierville to UMC. Now to go back and be with all of this team was really a special occasion. And it gives me renewed hope about the young people of our own generation. Not just these two, but all of these young people. The young people from Icon Ministries, a young person from Collierville, UMC. They have so much to give. I mean, it's really hard to fully appreciate that. And when we think about future generations and what they can contribute, make a difference, they've got it. And that's probably one of the biggest takeaways for me and for all those who want to be enthusiastic about the coming generations, young people, both teenagers and tweeners and all those coming up, and young adults as well. We heard also testimony from about Mountain Top as well. There's a lot of good hope out there. Don't become too discouraged about the news that you have to read every day. There's a lot of hope out there.
Yeah, it definitely was on display with our friends from Binghamton and from Covenant and Collierville and Byhalia and yes, right here as well with members of our own church. So are there any other final takeaways or anything that you would like to share with? We've got families that maybe are thinking about it or are thinking in a couple of years from now we'd like to go. We'd like to bring our children or we'd like to go with grandchildren. Any final takeaways or things that y'all would like to share as a family with our congregation and with those watching online this morning?
Yeah, I do want to talk about Pedro just for 1 minute. He was the guy who y'all saw. He was playing Dance Dance Revolution there at Peter Piper Pizza. But he, when we first came, he was 7. And you know, if you want to know if what Rio Bravo is doing is impactful on people's lives, he's now 29. Had an opportunity. He grew up there with 3 or 4 brothers. He's had an opportunity to go to seminary school and decided to come back and devote his life to working there with the children. He's, with Rachel that Claire was talking about, started a soccer program to reach out to the community. And so, you know, I think seeing him as an adult now and knowing that he's committed to Rio Bravo as a child that grew up there is a pretty strong indicator that they're doing really good.
So I would say if you're considering going, go. Don't overthink it. The news can be scary, or thinking that maybe the location is not safe. You know, I know was a concern for several folks, but you drive over on the bus, you enter the gates at Rio Bravo, and it is like nothing you've ever seen before. And I never felt unsafe, and definitely so glad that our kids were able to go with us, and we're already looking forward to going next year.
Well, thank y'all so much for sharing. And yes, Pedro is definitely like a testament to what they do with the children who grow up there and the opportunities that they have at that children's home. So friends, can you help me in thanking the Durbin family for coming on up? And I hope that you'll talk to any of the folks in the bright Rio Bravo shirts this morning. Friends, I mentioned it's Laity Sunday, and we've got one more person. I'm not going to interview him by any means, but we've got one more special guest up here to the stage. One invite of Scott Perryman, who is the chair of our church's leadership team, and that also makes him the church lay leader by default. So glad that you're with us. And Scott's just going to give us a reflection on ministry for this year. Make sure that microphone is on. There we go. Here we go. And glad that you're with us and sharing with us on this Laity Sunday.
We have power. Excellent. Peter Piper Pizza picked a peck of pickled peppers. That was on my heart. I had to get it off my chest, guys. No, I wanted to remind everyone about our commitment cards. Not only the front side where we're talking about our financials and our tithing to God, but to God's church, but also on the back side is an invitation for you to get involved in some of the different church operations that we have here, to volunteer your time and your skills in many different ways. So Laity Sunday, lay leadership, took me a while to make the connection. But as the lay leader here at Peachtree, I wanted to let you know about some of the things that are going on here at Peachtree, how you can get involved, and basically invite you to accept God's calling. When I joined the leadership team and was asked to serve as the lay leader, I recognized that there are kind of 8 different operations here at our church that help us do what we do. You know, we've got our congregational care team. Ashley is instrumental in that. And one of the things they want to do is create a prayer group to care for the individuals in our church who are going through hard times and to celebrate some of the wonderful things that happen with God's people. We've also got, of course, our children, our youth, and we need some help in the nursery there. We have some big plans for 2024, maybe thinking about a youth minister to help our kids through their confirmation and put on some programming for that. So very excited to see what our youth group does next year. Of course, we have worship here today and helping Pastor Kris with the way Sundays are going to run. Not only up here with our worship team, you guys can reach out to Leanne if you'd like to get plugged in with that. Of course, Tim's here today. Happy birthday, Tim. And some other things in our church. Financials are an important part of what we do here at Peachtree. And so if you have unique skills that you could lend to help our financial task force, we want to invite you to be a part of that. We've got a very big church building. And so I have volunteered, if you will, to kind of be aware of the different things that are going on here with the building. You know, making sure that we've got functional HVAC systems, making sure that we've got good vendors to help us with our lawn care and maintenance and things like that. And what we're getting at with this, guys, is Laity Sunday is an opportunity for us to celebrate all Christians in their ministry to God's church and to God's people. You see, I think that each one of us is uniquely skilled and uniquely enthusiastic about these different operations. And so if you feel so led to help our church grow, I want you to know that you can reach out to myself, to Pastor Kris, to Ashley, to Tim, to other lay leaders in our church and say, hey, I'd like to get involved with worship. I'd like to get involved with our youth ministry or our children, and so on. So before I hand it back to Pastor Kris, I wanted to let you know just about my own experience serving on the leadership team and how that's helped me grow in my faith and my witness. Pastor Kris asked me to join the leadership team in 2021, and of course we're coming off the pandemic and worshiping online. Lauren was pregnant with our second child at the time, and so I'm thinking, Kris, I don't know if I've got that kind of time, buddy. But God was putting it on my heart to get more involved, and so I accepted that call. And we flash forward 2 years later, and it was very obvious that we were going to be needing a new lay leader. David Kelly with his wife serving, as our children's minister. Probably not the best optics to have him as our lay leader. And the second person in my class had actually moved away to Louisiana. And so here, as we're going into 2023, I'm coming off of my wife's breast cancer treatment last year, obviously 2 children, and thinking, man, I don't know if I got the time. But again, it was an opportunity that God was putting on my heart to grow in my faith. And that's the challenge that I want to give you all today, is that if God's speaking to you about one of these different areas in which you can lend your time, I want you to know that you are enough. I want you to listen to Harper, who sat up here and said, you don't know what God has in store for you if you go to Rio Bravo. I just want to challenge you all to accept God's calling, to reach out to one of us if you want to hear more about what it looks like to serve God's church in these different ways. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks to all the folks that are currently serving on leadership, who have served on leadership, and the launch team. As we come off of the Rio Bravo reflection, a huge thanks to Catherine Burris, who was our team leader this year and just did so much for the team. We mentioned Karen Kelly, who does an amazing job with our children's ministry and started out just as a lay member of the church and then accepted that call to serve with our staff. Dr. Durbin is serving on our staff as our minister of discipleship. Susan Lawhon, who's our church business administrator, was an original launch team member as well. And so we've seen the work of the people, and our lay people are so vital to the life and the growth of our church. And so I just thank you all for just hearing how God has been at work with our young adults and opportunities to grow with Mountain Top, opportunities with youth and families, not only with Rio Bravo, but just our kids that are down the hall right now being cared for in the nursery or at Peachtree Kids, and also these opportunities to grab one of those commitment cards. I think we have some on a back chair near Bob's AV closet and some that are on the welcome table. If you haven't already had a chance to fill that out, to do so and let us know where you'd like to get plugged in and where you'd like to get involved. And if you're watching online, to message us or call us in the church office this week and let us know the ways in which you want to be more involved and answer that call for 2024. Well, friends, it's been a great Sunday. We've got one final song that we're going to sing as we wrap things up. I think Kayla's pulling double duty today, not only talking about Mountain Top, but also getting up and singing with us. And just a reminder that Kayla and Analiese are going to be in the lobby or here in the sanctuary. Please find them, chat with them about Mountain Top. Come back tonight at 6 o'clock. Find anybody wearing this shirt to chat about Rio Bravo. And please be sure to pick up those commitment cards on the way out and drop them in one of the offering plates if you get a chance today. Let us know how you'd like to be a part of the life of our church in 2024. Let's stand as we sing our final song, Graves into Gardens.
Search the world, but it couldn't fill me. Man's empty praise, treasures that fade are never enough. When you came along and put me back together, desire is now satisfied here in your love. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing is better than you. I'm not afraid. errors and flaws, Lord, you've seen them all, and you still call me friend. It's the God of the mountain, is the God of the valley, and there's not a place your mercy and grace won't find me again. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Lord, there's nothing, nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Lord, there's nothing, nothing is better than you. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn mourning to dancing. You turn beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing, nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing, nothing is better than you. You turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can.
Amen. Friends, if you will, if you're close to somebody, if you're comfortable doing so, extend your hands out. Grab the hand of the person next to you. And as that's good. As we leave this day, maybe know that we are connected to one another and we are connected to God. And God has put a call on each of our hearts. And so I pray as we leave on this Laity Sunday that your ears might be tuned in to God's voice, to hear what it is that God is calling you to do and all the ways in which you might go out from this place to serve God. The God of the mountain is the God of the valley. There's no place where we can go where God is not already there. So go and encounter God out in the world and be the love of Christ for all that you meet. Go in peace.
Hello? Oh, hey, y'all. I just have one quick thing. Scott talked about how we have people that are kind of looking over different things. Catherine and I are the people going over missions. So y'all have heard me yap about Mountain Top all the time. Catherine is very passionate about Rio Bravo, but if there's a mission that you are passionate about and want to see Peachtree go and do, please come to talk to one of us, talk to Kris, talk to Scott, and we would love to talk to you about that opportunity to get Peachtree out there.